Okay, boy, howdy. I want to continue with this idea that I have. It's just like the craziest idea. I've talked about it. Craziest idea ever, but I think it could work. It's so crazy. I think it could actually work. Okay? Now, I did an earlier video presenting the idea of an exodus to Antarctica. Okay? That we force their hand because Antarctica is protected. Antarctica is more densely patrolled and secure than Area 51. They don't want us up there. Why? Because they're studying penguins. Several nations got together, signed the Antarctic Treaty, I think in the early 60s, and said, nobody, well, they didn't say it directly, but we're going up there, right? And we're going to have research, and we're going to study penguins, and we're going to count the number of penguin droppings or whatever. You look it up on YouTube; it's ridiculous. So it's protected. But it doesn't necessarily say you're not allowed up there. But people have gone up there and have been turned back by gunships. The military has a complete surveillance system up there. They have gunships, F-16s. They mean business. You're not going up there. So where did all this start? I'm going to refresh things. If you saw the last video, I'm going to refresh a little bit of that. So where does it all start? And Antarctica was explored by Richard Admiral Byrd. Okay, he goes up to Antarctica. He comes back, and he's on an old, I think it's in the late 50s, and he's talking about discovering something. He says, like, there's uranium, there's tons of coal that would supply our needs forever, for hundreds and hundreds of years. There's minerals, there's oil. I mean, this thing's got money spilling out of it, right? And so anyways, he says, well, that this is that horn of plenty. And so what happens is these corporations are just like salivating, and they're getting out there as fast as they can. They set up about 8 or 9 countries that are in there, and all of a sudden word comes down, get out, get out, get out, get out. Well, don't we get a few months notice? Get out now. And so they're kicked out, and then the Antarctic Treaty is formed, where all the well, not all the nations, but many nations are coming aboard, signing a treaty, and saying we're going to preserve Antarctica because it has penguins, and it's so pure up there, and we can't, this is the canary in the cage for the rest of the world. We have to study it, so we can't have people around. So it's to a point where this penguin issue, where they're counting eggs, they're counting poop droppings. I mean, this is reason to quarantine Antarctica from the public, and for even corporations. Corporations are kicked out. They're no longer allowed up there. Is this a reason why it has to be patrolled with F-16s and gunboats? The Antarctic Treaty was signed, and they're saying we're going to protect this unspoiled virgin territory of the world against you evil, rotten people that want to go up there and smoke and put your butts out in the ice, So they've got to protect it with F-16s and troops. There's tons of troops up there. It's amazing. So Richard Byrd's, Admiral Byrd's idea of corporations going up there benefiting from this horn of plenty ends. Why does it end? Because they found something. Obviously something went down, and they didn't want anybody to know about it, and they kicked everybody out because they had an armed expedition up there, Operation High Jump. I mean, it was a military operation, and they went. So something funny's up there. If you're taking a military operation up there, you're looking to protect something. You're looking to take over something, procure some land. But now it doesn't belong to anybody because it's the Antarctic Treaty. They all hold hands and they sing "Kumbaya, my lord," and they cry and they were going to protect Mother Nature. Oh, is there somebody trying to get in? F-16. Something's really, really wrong there. So anyways, I'm listening to, this is the big clincher. This is where I just went, oh my God, I'm so glad to be alive right now. Is I'm listening to Revolution Radio, and it's a host, I forget his name, and he's interviewing Mark Sargent and Patricia Steer, and they're answering his questions, and all of a sudden, and then Mark's bringing up Admiral Byrd, which he does, because that's what set it for him, eh? Because the whole thing is really mysterious, this whole Admiral Byrd thing, so he brings it up, and then all of a sudden, the host says, well, I had contact with Admiral Byrd's wingman. Now, I didn't get if there was a name for him or anything. But he wanted to do an interview with him, and wasn't clear whether, I don't think I got the impression, I'd have to listen to it again, but I got the impression that the interview didn't go through, but he did ask him a few questions, and he said, are the diaries legit? Because Admiral Byrd apparently in his own handwriting wrote these diaries saying about the mysterious land beyond, and he apparently the guy had a tear in his eye, and he said, yes, it's true. It's all true. Then he talked about Antarctica being the end of the world. And the host says, oh, okay, is that a metaphor, or is it saying or something? He said, no, it is literally the end of the world. Why is that? Because according to this guy, this is where time and space changes. In other words, it's a vortex. It's a portal. And he says it's just beyond this mountain ridge up there. Is that the mountain ridge that Admiral Byrd was talking about that had coal? He said it's unlimited amount of coal up there. I'm wondering if that's the ridge. And so there's a portal up there, a vortex of energy that could get us out of this prison dome, get us out of this prison, because it's full of sickness and disease and death and hunger and pain and suffering, and there's a portal up there. And if that's the way out, wouldn't you expect them to guard it? Wouldn't you expect them to shut it down? Wouldn't you expect them to turn people away from going out? There's a few people that have gotten up there, and they were, they were escorted out with gunships, okay? Of course, this is why they kick out the corporations. This is why they boot them out and get them out as fast as possible. This is what the big enchilada is all about. That is the end of the world, because the three-dimensional computer-generated world, this matrix, ends. It's been theorized that they found the dome of the flat Earth. If you don't know, if you think that's crazy, the flat Earth and the dome, then shut off right now. Just go away and try not to think about it, because you'll get a nightmare. But it's been theorized they found the end of the dome, and they boing, like the Truman Show, right? No, I think they found a vortex, and they went, nobody's going to see this. And they've tried to go through the vortex, and they can't do it. Because I really strongly believe in my heart that the Illuminati, because of their density, their vibration, they cannot escape this planet or plane. They cannot escape. They cannot get out of this dome prison. They can't go through portals. They will die. They will dissolve. I feel it. I can't prove it. Call it a theory, but I know it personally. I know it. They can't get out. Michael Tsarian has a number of videos and books outlining in detail the elite, the psychopathic archons have been trying to get off of this plane for forever. There's no escape. They're trapped in this prison with us. Humans, however, with a higher vibration of spiritual awareness and such, they can enter into the vortex and leave this earth. I think that's what they're hiding up there. I think, and do they want us to leave? Not a chance. We're their bitch, okay? And we bend over for them anytime they want. This is a prison. They suck our energy. They feed off our fear. This is full of sickness, death, depravity, starvation. People are dying every day of diseases. We want out. They know we want out. Do you think they would allow us to get out? If there's a portal up there, a vortex of energy, do you think, oh, sure, go on ahead. We are their meat. This is the thing. We are Carlos Castaneda in his books. He says we are their meat. We are food for them. They feed off our fear, our anxiety, our depression, and that they cause, they create. They stir up the pot and cook us in it and consume our energy. They're energy feeders. They're feeding off our energy, and they're feeding off lower vibrations. They're not going to let us, the cattle. You'd like a rancher, eh? You're going to say, hey, rancher man, you want to let the cows free? Because we believe in cows and Mother Earth and nature and all that. They look at you like, what? This is my livelihood, pal. This is what I eat. This is my food, my sustenance. Same thing. We bring them profits. We give them half our wages through taxes. Here, have more, and they'll take everything they've given us. They're now taking back, and they don't want us out because we're their resource. We're the cows that they milk every single day. We are the fly in their web that are being drained of vital fluids. We're being drained of our energy. And every day that energy is taken more and more as we get older and more decrepit, and we finally die screaming for a nurse in some healthcare unit. What a disgrace. Remember those stories of the proud Indians and the way they proudly die? Well, look at us now, sitting with tubes in our noses, and it's sickening. So, maybe there's an answer. Maybe we can form an exodus. Call it Project Exodus, let's say, and advertise it all over the net. In the spring, we're going up. We're going to see for ourselves. And maybe they'll kill us. But do you want to die, screaming for a nurse? You want to sit there peeing your bed in front of all your loved ones? Or crapping the sheets? Is that the way you want to go, or do you want to go proudly? Like the Klingons say in Star Trek, they make their death proud because they decide when to die. But they won't. They won't. Because you fire one shot, you have an exodus of votes going up there, of people that are organized. They fire one shot, they're going to have to explain it. Oh, they'll just shut the media down. You're stupid. No, they won't, because they'll have to explain it, and it will end up on the internet. So if the news doesn't touch it, if Drudge Report doesn't touch it, you can bet there's others that will pick it up, and it'll be all over the internet, and people will wonder why. Why are you shooting at these people? And explain. Right off the bat, we're going up there. We have experts with the environmental experts, nature experts, We're going up there equipped with experts. We're not going to hurt anything. We'll know how to deal with our traveling through there. We won't upset the penguins. We won't crush one of their eggs by mistake. And we know, and say that ahead of time, because the media, people like Alex Jones and Joe Rogan, they'll just smash it down. This is idiocy. This is getting our minds away from FEMA camps. That's more important. Our government is about to take us over. No, we're out of here. We get that vortex. We're out of here. We're out of here, because it is our energy, our human energy, that can steer where we want to go, which can take control of the vortex. They know that. They don't want us out of here. We are their cattle. They need to be worshipped. You think the angry God of vengeance, wrath, and jealousy would allow us to leave? So my proposal is that you get all these volunteers together. I'm sure there's yachtsmen and stuff that have been way up close to the Antarctic there that could be involved in this. They could take their boats up there. Fishermen that are well prepared for cold, wild weather, extreme hazardous conditions, if that they should encounter that. They're prepared. So we could get a whole caravan of boats going up there. Depends how many people that want to volunteer. We'll announce it ahead of time. And announce it ahead of time. This is where we're going. We just peaceful. We mean no harm to the environment. We mean no harm to other people. We just want to see Antarctica. How are they going to stop that? Oh, they're going to start a war in the Middle East and get everybody decoyed. But the boats are still traveling. How are they going to stop it? This is our ticket out. I mean, this should be, forget the Kardashians. Get your brain in order and realize up there is the end of this matrix, the end of the three-dimensional world. And did I say that already? I'm not sure. There was a movie, 13th Floor, and he's told in the movie, you want answers, you go to the edge of the city. And one day he finally takes a day off and he goes to the edge of the city, and there's a computer-generated wireframe matrix of mountains, of birds, of clouds, and he's stunned. The end of the world ends there. Now, as I say, I've learned everything I've learned, all my esoteric knowledge, from Hollywood movies, and then I have that knowledge. Then I come across in his image, not in his image, by John Lamb Lash about Gnostic Christianity, and everything I learned was in there. So they're telling us something, and I don't think that telephone scene where he says to his girlfriend, she says, "Where are you?" You could say, "I'm at the end of the world." I think that was deliberately put in there to teach us. I think that was deliberately, because there is a literal end of the world. If this guy is on the up and up, and he's telling truth, there is an end of the world, and it starts up there. So we form an Exodus, Operation Exodus, or Operation Antarctica. I've got to put the A in there. Antarctica. And just say, how are they going to stop us? They're going to have the media crush us, but it's not going to stop us. We'll go up there, we'll have professionals, we'll get everything. But the thing is, I'm just some guy on the internet. I can't organize something like this. I can't organize it. Somebody out there that can organize it should hear this and maybe think about it. Maybe even 20 ships stocked with supplies, incredible amounts of supplies, and skidoos, everything. We could go up there. I think I I've been to the mountaintop. I've seen the glory of the Lord. Remember that? I think that, Martin Luther's speech really applies to this situation. We need to be free. We need to rise up. We need to we can't live under the dome. We can't live this prison life. They're sucking the energy out of us. They're killing us off as a species. And they make no bones about it. They want to kill us off. But people are too wrapped up in television and sports and all this. You got to get enough people to care. That's the biggest hurdle of all, to get enough people to actually care about their existence and the future of this entire species called humans, to actually get up off their chair and do something. But I think there's a lot of boat enthusiasts. You know, they have their yachts, they have their sailboats, their fishing boats, and they all love to travel. Somebody get them together and get up there, make an announcement. We're going up there. And one shot's fired, they're going to have to explain. What was so bad about them going up there with experts, with that care about the environment, taking all precautions, everything? You had to kill somebody? You had... What? Well, you know, how are they going to stop us? Is NASA going to have an artist's rendition of Antarctica showing that there's nothing up there? I've seen the artwork. There's nothing up there. Oh, come on, give me a break. This is our final chance, and I think this is it. As Michael Jackson says, this is this. And I think there's a lot of boat enthusiasts that would love somewhere to go. A challenge, there you go. Organize it, announce it ahead of time, announce the peacefulness about it, announce that you're not going to disturb the little penguin eggs. You're not going to walk up to a penguin and snap its neck. You're just going to go out there. You're going to be as gentle to Mother Nature as you can. You won't even leave footprints. We'll be gingerly going down there. We'll get to that vortex. You know, like, let my people go. I mean, we need to have this organized. And I think that's the only solution. I think that's the only solution, unless, well, we can wait for Sophia's correction, or the Christians can wait for a rapture. Who knows whether they're going to ever happen, you know? We've got to make the change. We got to pull up our britches. We got to move. We got to say enough's enough, and we're going to do it. We're not going to wait anymore for some flaxen-haired, blue-eyed Jesus coming down, throwing kisses to the world. I got to wait for the second coming. No, we can do it now. We can do it now. We can make the change now. But I'm just an old guy mouthing off on the internet, okay? It's probably not going to go anywhere, and there's not enough people to really even care, because they're more concerned about their Facebook likes, their makeup, and the redhead down the block. They just don't care. Right? So it's an idea. It's out there. Let it float. That's what I say. Let it float, and if somebody comes up and says, you know, I'd be good at organizing it, I'd be excellent. I'd be excellent. I got some buddies. We can put this together. We got some millionaires that will donate food supplies, special tools, and experts, environmental experts. We can round those up. There you go. So what more can I say? If you want to call me a nut, that's fine. Go right ahead. But I want out of here. Period. No compromises. I want out of this sick, artificial, computer, dream world illusion. I want out now. Thank you for listening.